do a little update from the last unfortunate update. I can't even hardly remember that. It's been so much craziness going on. Yeah, I've had different procedures and stuff done. Right now, I am on day 7 of chemo. I was infused. Yeah, I think it's day 7 now. It's been up and down. The biggest thing is you have no energy, but I've also had days where I've really battled nausea really bad. We tried to adjust medications a little bit. One of the medications just makes me so loopy I can't take it. And then, like I said, I had one day where I couldn't look at a phone, I couldn't watch TV, I couldn't do anything but sit there in a chair and just be miserable. But throughout this time, I've been trying to do things to keep me busy, keep me active. I'm not really able to build, but one of my projects was, okay, for over a year I needed, if you remember when we were last working on the boat, my radio broke. I had put in a radio that had a little camera I was going to use, and that thing, I don't know why, but it screwed up. So I bought this one, but we had no way to mount this one. There was no screw holes in the side. So I decided, since I can't do much else, I'll build a little box to put the radio in. The paint's still wet on that. But this led into an interesting, I don't know, situation, problem, mess. Most of the wood that I build with is treated. I had some pine that I had milled a few years ago. So I went up there and I got a board and I brought it down and I drug out my planer. And the dang planer wouldn't work. The cutter head goes down, but it doesn't want to come up. It's a DeWalt. I'm thoroughly pissed. That thing is expensive, and it's a replacement for one I burn up, and I have another one over here. It's like 15 years old, and you think they would have fixed it, but it's the same stupid flaw. The cutter head goes down. I actually had to weld an impact socket to the rod to get the thing to come back up. Well, my new one that I'd only used it like twice before. The same thing. It wouldn't come back up. So I took the chain off and I was trying to adjust it, and finally the cutter head just literally cracked. It pissed me off because, like I said, I can't do much. I'm wrestling around with this 80-pound hunk of crap, and I kind of overdid it. I thought that was going to be the end of it, but that night, that whole situation got a lot worse. See, to use my rough cut lumber, I need a planer. And that's when I got myself into a mess of doubt and fear. Because I was like, planers are expensive. And do I really need to buy a planer? Am I going to be here to use it? This is the stuff that started going through my head. And then I was like, well, I don't need to spend the money because I don't even know if I'll ever be able to work again. And then I was like, well, you know what? If you're not going to be here, why does it matter? Just spend the money anyway. That battle got into my head and it depressed me so bad. It really upset me. I've been pretty positive up until this point, but that was one of those times where you had to make a decision on that. And it got to me. So what I ended up doing was I just went and bought it. I bought a cheap planer, one I can manage. It's a Craftsman. I didn't buy the expensive one I need, but I bought one I can handle right now in faith that I'm not going to sit here and be in fear and doubt and worry. I'm going to do what I can try to do, my little things. Like I can build this little box. I have other little projects on the boat I want to start. As I get loosened up, part of the problem was the cancer had spread into my shoulder and it damaged the bone. Two things I've noticed since I've started chemo. One, I'm not coughing up blood like I was. That was a pretty scary thing. It was pretty bad. That stopped, and my shoulder is getting a little bit better. I have more range of motion in it. When I'm sleeping or on the pain meds, I can actually get it above my head, something I couldn't do for months. So as that stuff's improving, I want to try to do these little projects, and I'm just staying positive. I'm going to have faith that I'll get to use that boat. You know, I don't know how long. None of that matters, but it was just crazy how that situation of that planer breaking got into my head so bad that night. because I had to make a big decision. You know, several. That planer was, I don't know, 300 something bucks. The one I need's about 1,600, 1,700 bucks, and that's a lot of money to spend when you just don't know. So I let that get into my head. But like I said, I finally was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. In faith, I'm gonna do it. It's the same reason I'm doing this project now. I still have, in 2 weeks, I go for one more infusion. Then I wait 3 weeks, and then I go for another infusion of the chemo. And then after that, I guess we're going to do a scan and see where we're at. But, yeah, like I said, some days are better than others, but I'm just going to go in faith that each time we're just going to get a little bit better. And kind of do what you can. And I hope everybody's doing well. I'll bring you along with the stuff that I am doing. Stay safe out there.